to pull the heartstrings on dad the most, so
Also that.
let's not forget
Also
the Mustang was not mine first. It went to an elder brother first, and then I got it. So it's not like it was directly brand new bought to me. That's all I have to say.
Well, and
I
I
will
will say I
never
did have the truck, so I can't complain because I loved having the truck.
Yeah,
I
I
will
got to drive
never
the Dodge, so
Okay,
Wait,
Tony,
I
you
did too
claimed
sometimes.
the Dodge.
I
You
did
claimed
claim
the
the
Dodge
Dodge. The
hard.
Dodge held my heart. I love the Dodge. The Dodge was everything to me.
Well,
I
by the
wanted to
time
keep
I
it
had the
even after it
Dodge, the
died.
speedometer wasn't working. When I would turn on the blinker and make a left-hand turn, it would die in the middle of the turn. I mean, I got that Dodge when it was beat up
After it was driven into a field over a bee.
after it
Oh,
was driven through a
beautiful
barbed wire
story.
fence.
Okay, it still worked, and I still drove it, so I don't know what you're complaining about.
Zip ties were keeping the bumper on. It was great. It was so embarrassing for my teenage self.
I mean, I drove the Mustang without a bumper for a good year, so I feel ya.
Without the front or back.
It was the front without the front bumper. The back was still
But
there.
it was missing both at one point.
Not when I drove it. Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah. It
Anyway,
was when you drove.
Kara suppressed those memories. That's fine.
No, the
Not the point.
F-150 was my baby.
It was like not to get into it, but like that's the reason that I had a hard time driving when I first started to drive. I would get huge headaches and I would get so tense because I was in like 2 accidents with Tara. I had to like overcome my fear of driving in order to get my license.
I remember you, Tony, white knuckling the I don't remember if it was the F-150 or the Dodge truck, but you were white knuckling it because we were going into the fog.
Oh, that was terrifying. I
Yeah.
remember that.
I'm pretty sure you held your breath the entire drive.
And it was a long
And I had
drive.
to like question. I was like, "Are we not going to survive this? Like, is this is this an issue?" But yeah, no, it's cars are definitely a way that our father likes to express, you know, his love to us.
Yeah.
So it came across very clear who he loved more. No, I'm just kidding. Jokes. We love you. We love Dad. We love Dad.
I am not gonna less myself because I got what I wanted, okay?
Okay, I do have to say though, Tara, you might be able to pull his heartstrings pretty well, but I'm a runner up for that one too. Okay, I distinctly remember time. Teddy and Tony, you guys would be like, Tony, can you please go ask Dad? He'll say yes to you. So I'd walk in the room and just go, "Hey, Daddy," and it was mine. Whatever I wanted, it was mine. So I'm just saying, I can do it too.
Tony, don't release our secrets on air.
Yeah, cut that out. All right. So we plan to start our episodes with a little get to know you segment, then discuss fun, serious matters such as current news, topics of interest of ours, stories from our lives, essentially the things you would discuss every time you call up your sister or bestie. So let's get into it. I think this segment is really interesting. I want to know our first memory of each other, reaching back to the beginning of our lives. What memory stands out the most as your first memory of one of your other sisters?
All right.
I have a funny one, actually. Oh, go ahead, Johnny.
Well, this one's pretty funny too. And this is a story that anybody who knows us knows this story. It was one night. I was a very young child. I don't know if this is my first, but this definitely stands out. And mom and dad were gone. I don't know if they were, on a date or at an activity or what, but they were gone. And I was in bed and I remember laying in bed and I look over and I see these stickers laying on the desk next to
Oh.
the bed. I was already
No,
preparing.
not
These
this
stickers.
story.
They're those smiley face ones like you get at Walmart, the yellow ones with the smiley face on them. And I very, very vividly in my head remember this happening. I remember looking at those stickers going, I can't sleep. I should do something with those stickers. So you know what I did? I crawl up onto the bed, onto Teddy's bed, because it was bunk beds, right? I'm on the bottom bunk, Teddy was on the top. And I crawl up onto the bunk bed and I take these stickers and I put them onto Teddy's eyeballs while she's sleeping. I just like cry myself. I don't remember what happened after the fact, but I remember doing this. I crawl back down to my bed, and mom and dad get home, and so they come to check on us, of course. And they look at Teddy, and they're like, "What in the world is going on with Teddy?" And they realize that she has these stickers on her eyeballs, and I'm wide awake still. And they look at me, and of course they're trying to hold in their laughter because it freaked them out, trying to figure out what was going on with Teddy. And I'm over here just smiling. I'm just like, "Yep, I did that.
No,
That was me."
Connie. No, what happened was mom and dad got home. You walked out of your bedroom, came to
Yep,
us, and
that's
was
what
like,
happened.
"Mom, Dad, look what I did." And mom and dad went in there because they're like, "Oh shoot, what did she do?"
What did she
They
do?
go into the room and they see Teddy, and they have the rest of us siblings one by one come in to see
Down
our
around this part.
reactions because they thought it was so funny.
And
And we're
I'm
all like,
asleep the whole time.
it
I'm
looks like she was
Go
asleep.
sleeping with her
gold.
eyes open, and it was so disturbing.
It was terrifying. Like it was a jump scare when you first saw it.
It was like Tawny just created this circus show that everyone came in and just strutted through to see the freak on the bed with stickers on her eyes.
Yeah,
So it looked
Connie
like
got way more than she bargained for. She did way better than she thought she ever could on that one.
Oh yeah.
and
No, I
and
remember looking at those stickers. I
Historical.
remember seeing them sitting there, and then of course, what does any good parent do? They take a picture. And what happens later on, Teddy? What happened?
to complete this story, mom used to go get pictures printed at Walmart and then bring them home. And we loved it because we would go through the pictures. I was going through the pictures that she had brought home, and then I see myself
Oh
as the
no.
subject of one of the pictures with stickers on my eyes, and I'm like, "What is this?" And then the laughter ensued, and the explanation occurred, and I was, yeah,
There
yep,
was no way
gonna.
to explain it to you without you just seeing the picture. Like, it wouldn't have made sense. So
I
that's so
don't think
funny.
anyone would have explained it to me because this was like a week later.
Yeah, it was a while later. How old were you? Do you guys remember?
I would have been like 9, like
I was
8.
little. Yeah, so I would have
Oh,
been what, 6 or 7? I feel like I was
Okay.
younger, but
maybe younger. Maybe I would have been like, yeah. Maybe I was like 7 and you were like 5.
I want to say I was
Yeah.
younger. But yeah, that is definitely one of my earliest memories, like the more vivid ones that I can picture myself looking at those stickers. I remember it.
So I
Good period.
remember when Tony and I were little, and I think I must have been like 5-ish. I don't know. How old are kids when they start walking and talking? I don't know. Tony was
A lot
walking and
sooner than
talking.
that.
I'm pretty sure Teddy had been born, but like was a baby. And Tony and I would always play princesses all the time because of all the princess movies we are watching. And then we would go and play princesses. And I remember this one point where we walked outside and Tony was like, "Let's play princesses." And I was kind of like, "Ugh, okay, fine, we'll play princesses." And Tony's like, "You be the prince," like every time. And I was like, "I don't want to be the prince this time." And Tony was like, "You have to be the prince because you're older." And I was like, "Ugh, fine, I'll play the prince." And then after that, I refused to ever play princesses for you again and was like, "Teddy, get older to play princesses with Tony." That's like my core memory of Tony was like that age.
Hey, the
We were
logic
so
is
little.
logicking to me, so you were
I mean,
older,
you weren't
therefore.
wrong. I just wanted to be princess once, and you always made me the prince. And I couldn't remember which movie we were playing out. I want to say it was like Aladdin or something. I don't remember. Something like that.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think. I feel like one of my oldest memories of like Teddy and Tawny was like simultaneous. It was like my first clear memory of Teddy, but also happened to be Tawny because it was when Tawny was born. and we went to the hospital, like, the next day. Dad brings all of us kids to the hospital, and we're like, everybody's gets a chance to hold Tawny, and we're, like, passing you around, and then, like, they go to Teddy, and they, like, offer Tawny to Teddy, and Teddy, like, sees Tawny, and she, like, backs up and, like, moves behind one of the other siblings, and she was like, "No."
That's so cute. Oh my gosh. My
Thanks.
earliest
Dang.
memory of Tawny was Tawny had jaundice as a baby, and so mom would lay her next to the glass doors to get just like sunbathe essentially. And I remember you were always laying there when I would come home from school, and I was like afraid to touch you. Like if I had touched you in one spot, like the jaundice would stay or something, and you'd have like a fingerprint of jaundice. I don't know. For some reason, I was scared to touch you when you had when mom had you
Is
laying
that
out
where this
there.
birthmark came from?
Maybe.
Tara touched her hand.
Touched by an angel, or what do they say? Angel kisses are birthmarks.
Angel
You're welcome.
kisses.
So, growing up, like when we were little, we all four shared a bedroom, and we had two bunk beds, and Tara and Tony were on one bunk bed, and Tawny and I were on the other bunk bed. And the room, like looking back, was really small, but it felt super spacious at the time because we were so little. And Tawny and I were both young, and we we both had to take naps. Like mom put us down for naps, but the thing was that I did not like to sleep. I didn't like to sleep for my nap time. I wouldn't do it, and and mom did not want me to keep Tawny awake during nap time. So Tawny stayed in our four bunk bedroom, and I went into our parents' bedroom and got to watch TV until I heard m- Tony and Tara walk through the door coming home from elementary school. And I was always the most excited when they came home because I would just
Aw.
jump up and nap time was over and I could play with my sisters. And I was just always so excited to see you guys. There was a memory that I had of, um, uh, yeah, waiting for you guys to come home where Tawny and I were outside with mom. She was like doing laundry and I was catching bugs in a jar so that I could show it to you guys.
Oh,
When
that's so
you guys
cute.
came home, I don't know, I was just always happy to have you guys around. And I also grew up with like some serious FOMO. Anytime that got put to bed before anyone else and I heard the laughter coming out of the living room of everyone else being awake, I would just seethe. I would seethe. But I was
It's
also, yeah.
terrible.
No, because I just wanted to go out there and know what you guys were laughing about and be a
That's
part of it. So,
that's usually when I would sneak out and, like, sit in the hallway in the darkness of the hallway, like, watching until I got caught and sent back to bed.
I'm still salty I didn't get to watch Heroes like all you guys got to watch Heroes. I never saw that show and you guys always talked about it. So talk about FOMO, okay, when everybody else in your family gets to watch it, but you don't.
Probably
oh
for the best.
man.
That show, looking back, that show was so weird.
Yeah, it really was. It started interesting, ended weird, so
Yeah.
you didn't miss out.
Yeah, yeah, but those are some of my earliest memories of you guys just coming home from school and Tawny and I not being able to stay in the same room during nap time. So,
And I
Yeah,
That's
remember,
I
like,
rough.
was
coming home to see Teddy on her little luxury nap suite with, like, her snacks, watching The Nanny while she's
my
Yep.
show
Well,
of
I had
choice was The
my
Nanny.
well, I had my pacifier tied to my bed for my nap, so
While Tawny was tied to her bed.
I mean, I was also 4, so that's my fault, but still.
Let the record show our parents did not tie Tawny to her bed. That was her pacifier. and she was emotionally tied to her pacifier.